It has been yet another brutal year for the video game industry, punctuated with mass layoffs and studio closures. At the center of these unfortunate events are games that failed to impress commercially. Here are 5 highly anticipated AAA games that fell flat on arrival. Welcome back to GameABA Universe, where the soul of gamers live. Thank you for all the support you have given to this channel. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we publish a new video. Coming from Rocksteady Studios, the developer that brought us the Batman Arkham series, the anticipation for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League was massive. However, a troubled development cycle and an uninspiring gameplay reveal dampened the expectations. The game publisher, Warner Bros. Discovery, eventually posted a 41% year-over-year decline in revenue in its gaming division and blamed it on the poor performance of Suicide Squad. Although the anti-hero franchise has made over $15.4 million on Steam, it's a scratch compared to the over $200 million WB game sunk into the project. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League is currently sold for less than $5 on most platforms. Less than a year after launch, Skull and Bones was promoted as Ubisoft's first AAA game. It was supposed to be a generational leap compared to the current AAA games. While the game's graphics did impress in some areas, there was no real fun in the game that could keep players engaged for a long time. Reports claimed the game attracted around 850,000 players during its launch week. However, the majority of them were only there for the free trial. What follows was a sharp decline in the price. Still, gamers were unwilling to invest. Judging from the long development cycle and the emphasis on the game being AAA, Ubisoft likely invested over $200 million in the project, a money they obviously can't recoup. While Ubisoft has improved the game since launch, there is often no second chance to make a good first impression in the video game industry. What happened with Alone in the Dark is one of the reasons why most gamers are skeptic about having their favorite childhood games remade. The original Alone in the Dark won numerous awards, including the Best French Game of the Year at the European Computer Trade Show in 1993. So, the anticipation of that masterpiece coming to the current gen consoles was massive. Saying that Alone in the Dark reboot flopped is an understatement. It was a colossal disaster. It failed to meet the commercial expectations of Embracer Group, eventually leading to the closure of Pieces Interactive just 3 months after the game was released. While many detest the Embracer mindset and business model, business is business. Sony invested massively in the development of Concord. Report has it that the game was intended to be the PlayStation maker's tentpole title, with which it will stake a claim to the already saturated live service market. The initial development deal struck between Sony and Firewalk Studio was $200 million, but the estimated cost of eventually bringing the game to the finish line was around $400 million. But was all that investment worth it? Nope. Concord was launched on August 23rd, and just 8 days later, Sony pulled the game from all marketplace and offered refund to everyone who already purchased the game. Firewalk was eventually shut down. This AA game flop was on a scale never seen before. Analysts fingered several reasons for Concord's failure, including charging players for what competing titles offered for free. There are those preaching diversity, equity, and inclusion in video games on one hand, and those who believe day is the reason some AAA games developers are making games that are not in tune with reality. Unknown 9: Awakening is what happens when the two factions collide. The failure of Unknown 9: Awakening was blamed on the influence of Sweet Baby Inc. However, the problem with the game goes beyond day. With an estimated development and marketing costs of over $150 million, Reflector Entertainment had everything it needed to deliver a masterpiece. But did they? Nah. The spark presented by the world and intention for the game was quickly extinguished by the generic story and a dull combat. A month after the release of Unknown 9, Reflector announced it was laying off 18% of its workforce. Beyond the financial details, one pattern that was consistent in all the AAA games on this list was what critics thought about them. None of the AAA games on this list got up to 70 Metacritic score on any of the platforms they launched. Arguably, the biggest takeaway from the AAA games that flopped in 2024 is that big budgets don't translate to successful games. Which of the game flops surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comment box. See you in the next one.